Do you remember when Christmas trees came in aluminum and shimmered like something from outer space? When bubble lights took 15 minutes just to heat up, and the whole family would gather around waiting for that first magical bubble to appear? When tinsel was made of real lead and hung perfectly straight, catching light like nothing we see today. The 60s and 70s gave us a Christmas that looked, smelled, and felt completely different from anything we know now.
Remember when Christmas trees came from a factory in Wisconsin and shimmered like pure silver? The aluminum specialty companies sold nearly 1 million of them in 1964 alone, at about $20 each, roughly $240 today. Your dad spent hours screwing each metallic branch into that center pole while the whole thing creaked and clinked. The tree was cold to touch, heavy as metal should be, and it caught light like nothing you'd ever seen before. You couldn't use regular lights on it, too dangerous, so families bought those rotating color wheels that washed red, blue, green, and amber across the aluminum branches in hypnotic waves. Then Charlie Brown's Christmas special came out in 1965 and basically called these trees everything wrong with the holiday. Sales dropped 80% in just 2 years. By 1970, production had stopped completely. That shimmering space-age dream, that symbol of a modern American Christmas, vanished as quickly as it had arrived. Can you still hear that soft glug 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 sound? Noma sold 15 million sets a year at their peak, 7 lights per strand for about $3, roughly $30 today. You'd plug them in and then wait 10, sometimes 15 minutes before that first bubble appeared. The whole family gathered around, watching, competing to see whose bulb bubbled first. The liquid glowed this warm amber orange color, and the bulbs got scorching hot to touch. They were filled with methylene chloride, a chemical they'd later ban for being toxic. But nobody knew that then. When they finally started bubbling, it was hypnotic. Kids sat in front of the tree for hours just watching those bubbles rise and fall. The government banned the chemical in the 70s, and the new versions with mineral oil never worked right. Today's LED bubble lights try to mimic the effect, but they can't match that mesmerizing warmth. That enchanting tradition dissolved completely, just like the bubbles themselves.
Remember how carefully your mom unpacked those boxes every December? Max Eckhart's Corning factory pumped out 250 million ornaments a year, 12 for 99 cents, about $10 today. You could hear them tinkling together, that delicate glass-on-glass sound. They were cold and smooth to touch, fragile as eggshells, covered in mica glitter that stuck to your fingers for days. Kids could only look, never touch. Every year, at least 2 or 3 would shatter, and your mom would sweep up that glitter with this look on her face, like she'd lost something irreplaceable. The fancy ones went in front where guests could see them. The chipped ones got hidden in back. By 1962, production moved to Hong Kong and American factories closed. Today's shatterproof plastic ornaments are safer, sure, but they can't match that precious weight in your palm. That sacred ritual of handling grandmother's fragile glass treasures has vanished completely. Remember spending 3 or 4 hours applying tinsel 1 strand at a time? 20 million boxes sold every year in the 60s, about 40 cents for 2,000 strands, maybe $4 today. Real lead made each piece heavy enough to hang perfectly straight. You'd feel them cold between your fingers, that metallic smell lingering on your hands afterward. The way they caught the light, no modern tinsel has ever matched it. Your grandma would save every single strand, spending hours in January carefully removing each one to reuse next year. Nobody knew we were handling lead, poisoning ourselves for beauty. The FDA banned it in 1972, And the mylar replacement they gave us is weightless, clumpy, cheap-looking. Today's plastic icicles just hang there limply. No shimmer, no substance. That painstaking, perfectionist tradition of individual strand placement, that labor of love, vanished overnight when they took the lead away.
Remember when your mom made that tree herself at her ceramics class? Atlantic Mold sold kits for about $9 in 1968, roughly $80 today. She'd paint it, fire it in the kiln, then push those little plastic bulbs into each hole. Red, green, blue, amber. You could smell the wet clay before it was fired, feel that grainy texture. Once glazed and lit with that 25-watt bulb inside, it glowed. It weighed maybe 7 pounds and sat on the piano or mantel. She was so proud, something she'd created with her own hands. She'd give them as gifts to your teachers, the neighbors. The ceramic hobby craze died around 1978, when kilns closed during the oil crisis. Today's mass-produced light-up trees from China are fancier, sure, but they can't match that handmade pride. That artisanal tradition, I made this myself, has disappeared completely. Remember those tissue paper Santas that came flat in an envelope? Beistel Company sold them for about 50 cents each, maybe $5 today, at Woolworths and Kresge's. You'd carefully pull the honeycomb apart, accordion style, hearing that soft crinkling sound. The smell of old paper and lithograph ink filled the room. They were so fragile, lasting maybe 2 seasons before they started tearing. But they were affordable. Working-class families could fill their homes with Christmas for under $5. You'd try folding them back up each January, knowing they probably wouldn't survive another year. Plastic decorations in the 70s were more durable, and suddenly these tissue paper Santas looked cheap instead of charming. Today's reusable decorations last forever, sure, but they can't match that delicate annual ritual. That economic joy, making magic from paper and glue, has disappeared completely.
Remember when those glowing choir boys lined your front yard like ghosts singing silent carols? Empire Plastics sold sets of 4 for about $7 in 1968, roughly $70 today. Light bulbs inside made their faces seem to float in the darkness. The plastic smelled sweet and chemical when it heated up, and you could hear this faint humming from the vibrating bulbs. You'd pull up in the car at night, and there they were, glowing. Your dad would stake them into the frozen lawn, competing with the neighbors' displays. When bulbs burned out, he'd reach inside to replace them, cursing the awkward angles. Every winter brought more cracks in the plastic, more tape patches trying to hold them together. By the 80s, they looked tacky instead of magical. Today's inflatable decorations are bigger and flashier, sure, but they can't match that ethereal glow. That pioneering era of outdoor Christmas, when these humble choir boys were cutting edge, has faded completely. Remember how those glass bead strands had real weight to them? Germany and Czechoslovakia exported 9-foot strands for about $1.30 in 1963, roughly $13 today. They draped beautifully because of that weight, made this soft tinkling sound when you moved them. Cold and smooth under your fingers. They caught the light and multiplied it into 1,000 tiny reflections that danced across the room. Your mom would spend an hour getting the draping just right. Kids weren't allowed to touch. These were precious. Some families had 20 strands or more, passed down through generations. When beads broke, your grandma would restring them by hand, squinting over cotton thread. The Iron Curtain limited imports, and Asian replacements never had that same shimmer. Today's plastic beads don't break, sure, but they can't match that weighted elegance.
that luxurious, tinkling tradition has vanished completely. Remember when putting the star on top meant Christmas had officially arrived? Noma Electric sold over 2 million of these, about $5 in the 60s, roughly $50 today. 10 to 15 illuminated points, 12 inches across, heavy enough that you needed a sturdy tree. Your dad would climb the ladder while your mom guided him from below. You could see that star from the street, a beacon announcing your tree was complete. When bulbs burned out, the star looked wounded, incomplete. It weighed something in your hands, metal painted gold or silver, substantial and real. Noma closed in 1965, and production moved overseas. The quality changed overnight. Today's lightweight plastic LED stars are convenient, sure, but they can't match that commanding presence. That climactic moment, the star crowning the tree, lost its weight when the stars themselves became weightless. That sacred finishing ritual has disappeared completely. Remember when families color-coordinated entire trees? Shiny Bright and Corning made these through the 50s and 60s, 12 for about $1.50, maybe $15 today. Hot pink, turquoise, lime green, gold, silver, colors you couldn't get in glass. The finish was matte, soft to touch, absorbed light instead of reflecting it. Kids could handle them without breaking anything, less precious than glass heirlooms your mom kept locked away. Your teenage sister picked the mod colors. Some families went all pink, all blue, matching the tree skirt and tinsel perfectly. The metal caps oxidized green over time, leaving ugly stains. By the 80s, mid-century modern was out, and these solid color balls looked boring compared to decorated ones. Today's ornaments are all about patterns and glitter and complexity, sure, but they can't match that bold, color-coordinated aesthetic. That deliberate, designed Christmas, trees as art objects, has vanished completely. Remember that chemical smell filling the whole house when your dad sprayed fake snow on the windows? Holiday snow and instant snow sold for about 80 cents a can in 1968, roughly $7 today. Kids loved it, that psst sound, the foam expanding on contact. It dried crusty, not soft like real snow, clumpy and uneven. Your mom would supervise, not too much, while you used stencils for snowflakes and Santas. Come January, your dad scraped it off with a razor blade, cursing under his breath. Some windows never fully cleaned. Residue stayed in the corners for years. The aerosol propellant probably wasn't safe to inhale, but nobody knew that then. Environmental regulations in the 70s killed the original formulations, and replacements never worked as well. Today's reusable window clings are cleaner and safer, sure, but they can't match that messy creative freedom. That spray can winter wonderland tradition has vanished completely. Remember sitting in the dark watching colors wash slowly across that aluminum tree? Pomeroy and Bradford sold these specifically for metal trees, about $12 in 1965, roughly $120 today. 4 colors: red, blue, green, amber. 1 rotation per minute. The motor hummed constantly, gentle and low. The 200-watt spotlight got scorching hot. You couldn't touch it while it ran. Colors projected on the walls and ceiling, transforming the whole room. Kids would sit mesmerized for hours, watching that hypnotic cycle repeat. Guests were invited specifically to see it, your family's space-age Christmas showcase. When aluminum trees died between 1967 and 1970, the color wheels had no purpose. They used too much electricity during the oil crisis, became fire hazards with those high-watt bulbs. Today's multicolor LED lights cycle through colors instantly, sure, but they can't match that slow, meditative rotation. That entrancing light show, that patient mechanical magic, has disappeared completely. Remember building those miniature worlds on cotton batting under the tree? Japan exported these cardboard houses covered in mica glitter after World War II. About 50 cents to $2 per piece in the 60s, maybe 5 to 20 today. The mica caught light magically, shimmering like real snow. But the cardboard crushed easily, smelled like old paper and dust. You'd set them up with mirror ponds and battery-powered cars running through tiny streets. Kids could arrange the layout however they wanted. Church here, houses there, stores in between. You'd imagine the lives of tiny people inside those glowing windows. Each year you'd add another piece, building the village larger. Your grandma's pieces mixed with new ones. Then Department 56 introduced ceramic-lighted villages in the 80s. Bigger, fancier, more expensive. Today's elaborate displays are impressive, sure, but they can't match that delicate creativity. That fragile world built from imagination and cardboard has disappeared completely. Remember when every house on the block had glowing candles in their windows? Royal and Empire made these for about $3 each in 1968, maybe $35 today. 7 to 10 inches tall, candle-shaped with oil bubbling inside, 7-watt bulb. Your mom positioned one in every window, exactly centered. They stayed on all season, November through January. You could see them from the street, that warm glow announcing, "We celebrate Christmas." Kids would check each morning to make sure they were all still bubbling. The whole neighborhood participated in the same gentle tradition. Then the oil crisis made people worry about electricity costs. Hot plastic became a fire risk. The oil inside degraded over time. They just stopped bubbling, stopped working. Battery-operated flicker candles replaced them, safer and cheaper. Today's LED candles are convenient, sure, but they can't match that communal glow, that unified neighborhood warmth. Everyone participating together went dark completely. Remember pulling apart that fluffy cotton to make snowdrifts under the tree? Drugstores sold it for about $1 a bag in 1965, roughly $10 today. Raw cotton, untreated. You'd tug it apart, tedious and sticky on your fingers, then fluff it up to hide the metal tree stand. It smelled earthy, natural, lasted multiple seasons if you were careful. Some families used their grandma's batting, passed down for decades. Kids would help create drifts for the Putz village, shaping little hills and valleys. It looked nothing like real snow, but it felt like Christmas. Then they realized it was extremely flammable. A single spark could ignite the whole thing. Angel hair, the spun glass alternative, irritated skin and lungs even worse. Synthetic snow came in the 70s, safer but soulless. Today's fabric tree skirts are practical and fireproof, sure, but they can't match that fluffy impossibility. That cottony magical snow has vanished completely. Remember when everyone wore their Christmas spirit pinned right to their chest? Dime stores sold these for about $1 in the 60s, maybe $10 today. Miniature wreaths, Santas, bells, candles, plastic, glitter, tiny glass beads. Moms, teachers, church ladies, store clerks, everyone wore them. The glitter would fall off throughout the day, leaving sparkly trails wherever you went. Tiny bells jangled softly with every movement you made. Kids made them in art class to give teachers and coworkers. There was competition. Who had the most festive pin? You wore them to church, Christmas shopping, holiday parties. Saved them in jewelry boxes year after year. Then fashion shifted in the 80s. Costume jewelry became too much, tacky. The glitter was messy, embarrassing. Today's ugly Christmas sweaters are ironic instead of earnest, worn as jokes. They can't match that genuine, visible joy. That proud, wearable tradition, announcing Christmas with your whole heart, has disappeared completely. Remember when your hands smelled like paste for hours after making Christmas decorations? Construction paper cost maybe a quarter for a whole pack in the 60s. You'd cut strips, make loops, staple, or glue them together. Assembly line style as a family. Dad cutting, mom gluing, kids linking. The construction paper felt rough under your fingers. Chains would stretch 20, 30, 50 feet across the living room. Kids competed for who could make the longest chain. But the paper was weak. Chains drooped and sagged under their own weight. Links tore constantly. You were always making repairs, always patching holes. Classrooms were decorated ceiling to floor with them. Then by the 80s, homemade became a negative. It looked unfinished, childish instead of charming. Today's store-bought garland is fireproof and reusable, sure, but it can't match that collaborative creation. That tedious family assembly line, everyone with paste-sticky fingers working together, has disappeared completely. Remember when those heavy wooden blocks sat on the mantle like Christmas royalty? Wood or ceramic sets cost about $7 in 1968, roughly $70 today. Each letter 4 to 8 inches tall, red, green, white. They had weight, substantial, with weighted bases so they wouldn't tip. Your mom would arrange them with perfect spacing on the mantle or piano top. Kids weren't allowed to touch. Formal living room decoration that demanded respect. There were debates about positioning, mantle versus table, left side versus centered. Some families kept them out year-round because storage was awkward. 5 large blocks taking up half a closet shelf. You'd pose in front of them for Christmas pictures, those letters spelling tradition behind you. The aesthetic dated fast. By the 80s, they looked old-fashioned, clunky. Today's light-up metal signs are sleek and minimal, sure, but they can't match that substantial presence. That weighty declaration of Christmas, solid and permanent, has disappeared completely.
Remember when Grandma's Santa candy dish was never empty all December long? Westmoreland and Fenton made these, about $5 in the 60s, roughly $50 today. Covered dishes shaped like Santa heads or snowmen. White milk glass with hand-painted details. They were heavy, real glass, cold to touch. The lid clinked delicately when you lifted it. Always filled with ribbon candy, chocolate bells, peppermint sticks that stuck together in humid weather. Kids asking, "Can I have one?" became December's constant refrain. When guests arrived, offering candy was automatic, hospitality made visible. These were heirloom pieces passed from grandmother to mother to daughter. Westmoreland closed in 1984. Milk glass fell completely out of style through the 80s and 90s. Today's plastic candy bowls are unbreakable and practical, sure, but they can't match that generous weight in your hands. That automatic hospitality, the dish always full, always offered, always there, has disappeared completely. Remember that ethereal stuff that made your skin itch for hours? Spun fiberglass sold for about $1 a box in the 60s, maybe $10 today. You'd drape it on trees and mantles, and it looked magical, cloud-like, shimmering like snow caught in moonlight. But it was fiberglass, tiny glass particles you couldn't see. Your mom wore gloves applying it. You were warned constantly, "Don't touch." But kids always did anyway, scratching their arms raw afterward. The effect was worth the suffering, dreamy, otherworldly, transforming ordinary branches into something from a fairy tale. Disposal meant careful bagging, no shaking it loose. We didn't know then what we were breathing. Tiny glass fibers in our lungs, like asbestos nobody talked about yet.
Health warnings increased through the 70s. Some places banned it outright. Today's synthetic garland is safe and itch-free, sure, but it can't match that dangerous beauty. That shimmering hazard, that price we paid for magic, has disappeared completely. Remember when the Holy Family glowed in your front yard for the whole neighborhood to see? Empire and Polaron made complete sets for $15 to $45 in 1968, about $145 to $420 today. Blow-molded plastic figures, 2 to 4 feet tall. Mary, Joseph, baby Jesus, 3 kings, shepherds, animals. Light bulbs inside each one made them glow like beacons you could see from blocks away. Kids were reverent around them. Don't touch baby Jesus. Your dad staked them into frozen ground, wrestling with wind that made them wobble and tip. Storage was a nightmare, irregular shapes taking up half the garage. Religious families considered them essential, a bold declaration of faith lighting up the darkness. Then by the 80s, tacky became the label everyone whispered. Some got stolen right off lawns. Plastic cracked from sun and cold. Today's realistic resin figures stay tastefully indoors, sure, but they can't match that courageous outdoor witness. That illuminated proclamation, faith made visible for everyone, has disappeared completely. Remember when your grandparents had those delicate trees made from actual goose feathers? German imports and American reproductions cost $8 to $35 in 1965, roughly $85 to $320 today. Goose feathers dyed green, wire branches, wooden base. Tabletop versions 12 to 36 inches tall. The feathers were soft, almost fragile. They had this slight organic smell, animal, earthy. The trees were sparse, couldn't hold heavy ornaments without drooping. Grandparents loved them because they were nostalgic even then, reminders of their own childhoods in the 20s and 30s. Kids would ask, why feathers? Not understanding the connection to 19th century German tradition. They were already niche by the 60s. Allergy concerns killed some of the appeal. Feathers fell out over time, leaving bald patches. Modern preference demanded fuller, fatter, more abundant trees. Today's pre-lit artificial trees are dense and perfect, sure, but they can't match that delicate historical reverence. That sparse tribute to Christmas's past has disappeared completely. Remember when every classroom window was covered in those crinkly, transparent Santas? Beasel and Dennison sold them for about 50 cents a sheet in the 60s, maybe $5 to $8 today. Printed cellophane with static cling backs. Santas, bells, snowflakes, candles. 6 to 12 inches tall. You'd lick the back or dab it with water to make them stick. They were thin, delicate, made this soft crinkling sound when you handled them. Bright primary colors that glowed when sunlight passed through. Kids decorated bedroom windows. Teachers covered every pane of glass in the classroom. You could see them from both inside and outside, announcements of joy visible to the whole street. Easy on, easy off. Perfect for renters who couldn't nail things up. The cellophane yellowed over time. The clings stopped working. They'd peel off and fall. When you tried removing them carefully, they tore into pieces. Today's vinyl clings are reusable and durable, sure, but they can't match that temporary luminous joy. Those crinkly, transparent celebrations has disappeared completely.